Chains, but I know you feel the same. So what if we're broken? So what if we're both 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 broken? I guess that it makes sense. I don't have too many friends, cause they'll leave you broken. And I'll
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy King Don. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing what if Deku had the Sharingan. And this about a year ago. I remember seeing Anime Sages one, and I was like, I gotta do it. And my love for it so much made me take his exact same concept. And I was like, what was I doing? So I was tripping, and I ended that series. But now I'm gonna do. Well, based on my own thing, you know, I really love the Sharingan, but I love Naruto. So yeah, if you guys love Naruto too, subscribe to my second channel. Now that it's the summer, actually no, now that it's summer, I still don't have time. I'm gonna do summer school. My God, English. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. How I'm gonna start this what if off is that I'm gonna make Izuku and a descendant of the Uchihas. You're gonna be wondering, how does that happen? They got massacred. Allowed, man. Just allowed. The universe reset itself. Just like, you know, how in Legend of Korra, how the airbenders came back, that's happened with the Uchihas. So basically that happened, but that was 1,000 years ago, right? But they weren't able to activate the Sharingans and etc. and use the chakra because due to the appearance of quirks. So Uchihas usually have quirks that are fire related. And sometimes there might be a person who gets to the verge of obtaining the Sharingan, like feel the sensation, but do not get there because at that point quirks weren't as strong as they were right now. So skip past 1,000 years and finally Izuku Midoriya is born. Well, Izuku Uchiha to be specific. Anyways, so yeah, in this what if, Izuku's dad Hisashi Uchiha is actually a famous pro hero. He's actually, I'm gonna say top 20, you know, he's pretty up there. He has a great fire quirk, fire breathing quirk, just like in anime, but this time it's more potent and quite stronger. Due to Izuku's father being a pro hero, Izuku is gonna be a little different this time, you know what I'm saying? So during these ages, he's gonna be equivalent to Bakugo, because Izuku naturally was quite faster than everyone in his class, and Bakugo is able to respect that because he doesn't just dominate everyone and everything. There's actually someone with an opponent. So he can see Izuku as a rival earlier on. And Izuku, you know, being the son of a top 20 hero, it's not top 10, but it's still up there. He's popular with the ladies, and you know, Izuku's Uchiha genes kicked in, and you know what I'm saying? Izuku's a pretty boy. And you know, Izuku's actually entertaining them, so all I'm saying is Izuku's got Riz at the age of 4. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But since Izuku is popular and all that stuff and has friends, he's not going to be really friends with Bakugo, but he does see him as, you know, he doesn't even see him as a rival, he just sees him as someone in his class, which actually somewhat pisses off Bakugo because it's like he's not even acknowledging him. Until Bakugo unlocks his quirk. It's explosions, and everyone in his class starts praising about Bakugo, you're the best, and everything. And Izuku's interested in Bakugo's quirk, saying, huh, it's decent, it's pretty good. But Bakugo's like, your quirk wouldn't be any better, Izuku. Izuku's like, I highly doubted Bakugo. So, Izuku, wanting to know his quirk right now, convinces his parents, can I go to the quirk doctor, please? But them saying, you don't have any signs. He's like, come on, we all know what my quirk's gonna be. But them saying, yeah, we're pretty sure. So they go to the doctors, and none of them are surprised. And Izuku gets a fire breathing quirk. And you guys wondering, what? Izuku gets a quirk? I thought he was gonna have the Sharingan. I explained it earlier. But anyways, Izuku has the same quirk as his father, called fire breathing. But this time he doesn't have a big as backlash as his father. His father's backlash is that his throat gets very dry and it can burn up sometimes, which means he can't use his quirk for a long extended amount of time. But Izuku, let's just say mix it in with his mother's genetics, is actually able to withstand more and produce more fire. So all of them are very optimistic for Izuku's future. So Izuku goes back to school and then tells everyone about his quirk, and Bakugo's like, he can't even use it, and Izuku just on instant uses his quirk. And everyone's like, whoa, and everyone's surprised. And throughout the months, Izuku is quite literally a prodigy. He's very talented with his quirk, progressively getting stronger and stronger, and making Bakugo even more jealous and want to beat him even more. Izuku's quirk is not the only thing that's boosting him up. His default speed, he's very fast, bro. He's very fast for his age. You know, he just fastest kid in his school. Well, preschool, you could say. But yeah, Izuku being excited that he's finally, let's say, it's 6 years old. Finally asks his dad, Dad, please, could you teach me ninjutsu? I mean, could you teach me taijutsu? And it's like, relax, son, you're way too young. I can't be teaching you this stuff. It's very powerful techniques. You can't be doing this. It's like, please, I want to know ninjutsu, taijutsu, and all of the jutsus. And he just laughs like, alright, son, maybe when you're older. Maybe when you're older. And Izuku being a little angry. So one day, Izuku is out with his mother, Inko, and her friend, and they're walking down pretty, like, let's say 10 p.m. No, 11 p.m. Pretty late at night. It's not really late for me, but anyways. Sleep at, hey, comment down below if you sleep, let's say, past 2 a.m. gang. Nah, I need to get my life in order, bro. 2 a.m. is crazy, bro. Need to start sleeping 11 p.m. sharp. But anyways, so they're walking down the road, pretty sketchy area, but they feel confident against each other. But until a man starts robbing him, starts grabbing Inko's purse and give it to me. I need the money, please. And Inko's like, no, let go of me. And she pressed a panic button on her phone that Hazashi stored. Hazashi gets a notification and he starts running from the agency where he's at. But that's still a few meters away. And Izuku knows that his father might be coming, but it might be too late. So he jumps into action. And he says, let go with her! And he uses his fire breathing quirk, which in hindsight doesn't really do much damage. It just goes onto his jacket and he's like, hey, kid! And kind of pats it out. It's like, you brat. And Izuku's like, leave her alone! That's my mom! And it's like, okay, kid wants to be a hero? Shut up, brat! And he hits Izuku back. And he goes like, Izuku! And he's like, give me that goddamn purse. He starts walking away. But you just hear, Aah! And Izuku's running at the guy and continuously pursuing for his mother's purse. If you guys seen Black Clover, similar to Asta when that guy took Yuno's necklace. So yeah, Izuku's doing that with Inko being helpless, saying, Izuku, trying to stop him. But he seems so determined. And Izuku at this point is bloody and it's like, give me back my mom's purse. He's like, this stupid kid, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna kill you. Until you suddenly hear, is that so? And the guy turns around and he sees it's the flame hero, Dragon. Yeah, Dragon. Yeah, Dragon. And he's like, Dragon? He's like, what did you say to my son? He's like, I didn't know this was you. And he's like, shut up. And he grabs the purse and he just knocks the guy out. And he goes to Izuku saying, Izuku, Inko, are you okay? And Inko's like, Izuku, why would you do that? Izuku's like, I can't just let him get away. And Dad wouldn't have come in time, so I had to do something. And Hazashi's like, Izuku, you truly do have a heroic heart. I'm proud of you. And Inko's like, you encouraging this behavior? He's like, no, of course not, but I can't help but feel proud. Inko, he just, oh my, no, all I'm saying is that he really is my son. She's like, you had doubts? He's like, no. And it kind of gets into a small argument. It's just kind of funny. So after his father realizing that Izuku is very determined and he's willing to do anything and actually has hero tendencies, decides to teach Izuku taijutsu, which basically, you guys know, Naruto, it's just hand-to-hand combat, basically. That's what I'm saying. So anyways, his father starts to teach Izuku taijutsu until he's 8 year old. Oh my god, until he's 8. So about 2 years. And Izuku's starting to become proficient at it, and he's pretty fast. His father seeing this scenes is that, oh my god, his father seeing this thinks Izuku is a complete prodigy and starts to teach him more rapidly. But he thinks maybe he should teach Izuku Kenjutsu and Ninjutsu. So Kenjutsu, of course, it's weaponry. Izuku starts to learn about swords, kunais, and all that stuff. And he picks up a sword similar to, have you guys seen Sai? So similar to him. It's a little short blade, but long enough. I don't know how to describe it, but just search up Sai sword and you should see what I'm talking about. And what I mean by ninjutsu, it's just proficient usage of his quirk. That's what it means. So yeah, being able to manipulate his quirk in a way and all that stuff. That's what I mean by ninjutsu. But I kind of want to use these terms just to stay in Naruto, because whatever. So yeah, Izuku becomes pretty good at these for its age. So after one of the intense training, his father's holding Izuku on his shoulders, bringing him to his bed, and he lays him down until his senses starts to go off, and it's like, what the? And he kind of has a similar scene to Spider-Man, and he feels something so wrong, but he can't sense where it is, until suddenly he just hears, so that's your child. And he turns around and you see all for one. You guys guessed it, all for one. And Hazashi knows about all for one. He's no fool. He knows plenty about this guy. He's seen investigations about him, all these random crime scenes, and no one's putting an actual villain name. He got to the bottom of it, and all led back to All For One. And Hazashi, he's due to his research, it actually became close to All Might, and All Might told him all about All For One, which inherently which allowed him to know about One For All. But Hazashi, of course, kept it a secret. In exchange, he told All Might about Uchihas. And All For One's like, Hazashi Uchiha, I know all about your clan. Well, your descendants, to be specific. And Hazashi's like, is that so? What have you heard of? It's like, the ancient dojutsu, the Sharingan. It unlocks great power. But those abilities are average at best. What I'm really curious about is the Mangekyo Sharingan. And that's when Hazashi's like, wait, what the? How the hell do you know about the Mangekyo Sharingan? It's like, oh, come on, Hazashi. You think I'd let such a power escape my grasp without me knowing about it? And then he says, The only reason why I'm here, it's not because you're a descendant. It's because you have to Sharingan yourself. And Hisashi just laughs like, ha! Why would I have to Sharingan? We've had our descendants, we haven't had that for almost thousands of years. So why do you think I have it? And all for one's like, is that how you want to play it? And then he reveals something, he's like, phew! And he shows Inko tied up to a chair. He's like, Inko, what the? How did you? So you still want to deny you don't have to Sharingan? Hisashi? I will kill her right now. And I'll leave your child without a mother. Or father. It's your choice, Hisashi. And Izuku, from all this ruckus, starts to wake up saying, Dad, what the heck is going on? And then that's when he sees the scene. He's like, what the? And Hisashi's like, Izuku, keep your head down, alright? Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get back to your mother. And everyone will be safe. And Alphonse like, is that so? You still denied Hisashi? Hisashi, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he just nods his head saying, okay, that's fine. And that's when he, brings out a knife and he was about to stab Inko, saying, is that so? And he was about to stab her. But, Hisashi, out of, frustration and scared, turns on his Sharingan. But he doesn't have only the Sharingan. He has the Mangekyo Sharingan. And uses the ability of Obito, Kakashi, Kamui. And he Kamui's the blade away. And everyone's just shocked, saying, what the? And all for one's like, there it is. The Mangekyo Sharingan. And after using the Mangekyo Sharingan, Hisashi's completely gasping for air, going, the reason why is that they can't use it the same they did as back in the Naruto days, because they had great access to chakra, yet in these days they do not, simply due to quirks. So yeah. So Hisashi's gasping for air, and Alphonse so curious saying, the Sharingan. And that's when he dashes to Hisashi, but Hisashi quickly gets up and uses his fire quirk, with all for one still gets through, and it's like, give me those eyes, and he grabs him by the throat, and Hisashi's like, crap. That's when he kicks him off, and they start to have a fight indoors. And that's when Izuku gets out of his bed, close to his mom, and unties her, saying, whoa, what the heck's going on? And Inko's like, I don't know, Izuku, we gotta get out of here, we gotta leave. And that's when Alphonse, you're not going anywhere. And he was about to throw an attack at them, but then Hisashi's like, no! And he uses Kamui again, draining almost, draining such a high amount of his energy. So he continues to battle all for one, and due to his energy loss, he's completely just being battered and bruised. Hisashi, knowing his fate, knows that he's not gonna make it out this alive. So all he can do right now is protect his wife and his son. So Hisashi decides to use teleportation. Oh, I forgot what it's called. Oh, Kamui. Yeah, Kamui on Inko. So he uses Kamui on Inko and teleports away. And he's like, Mom! And Izuku. And he's like, Dad, where's Mom? He's like, don't worry, Izuku. There isn't much time. And that's when he gets hit by all for one, saying, we're not done here. And Hisashi's like, crap. Alright then. Fire breath. Flurp! And he does a massive fire burst, which completely just destroys the half of his house. But it sends all for one flying. And at this point, Hisashi's throat is burning, and you can see like the ashes of his throat coming out. It was like ultimate attack, his final attack, you could say. That's when he crawls to Izuku, saying, Izuku, I wish there was more time to explain this, but you're an Uchiha. He's like, of course I know that. That's our last name, but are you gonna die? It's like, Izuku, there's no time for this. need to explain you our history. We are the Uchiha. We are distance. Whatever. We are the client that holds the dojutsu called the Sharingan. He's like, the Sharingan? He's like, yes. It's this thing I use right here in my eye. It's basically an ability that gives you such immense power. Well, first there's 3 stages. The first Tomoe, second Tomoe, third Tomoe. It's extremely hard to unlock those Tomoes, but I believe you can do it. But there's a last stage called the Mangekyo Sharingan. And I don't want you to get anywhere near it, because the price is way too big for it. And Izuku's like, what are you talking about, Dad? Dad, please don't leave. And Hisashi's like, son, I'm not gonna make this out of alive. So that's when he freaking rips out his eye. It's like, ah! And he puts it in his bag. It's like, Izuku, grab this, take it. It's like, Dad, no. And that's when he uses his other eye, to use Komoe and teleports Izuku away. And that's when, at that point, his energy is completely drained, and his Sharingan just reverts back, you could say. And he's almost blind at this point. So yeah, Hisashi's lying on the floor, gasping for air, and that's when All For One comes saying, dude, what? That was an impressive attack of yours, but you have to do better than that. Hisashi's like, you'll never get away with this. And All For One's like, I think I will. Then he grabs Hisashi by the throat. He takes his other eye and rips it out, saying, this is gonna be quite useful, but it's quite frustrating. Where the hell did your other eye go? And Natasha's like, that's my business, All For One. And All For One's like, ah! And then that's when he kills Hisashi, throws him onto the ground, and he's still happy he got the Sharingan of one of the last Uchihas alive. That's when All For One teleports away, being being damaged from his fight with Hisashi. Izuku teleports and he sees his mother lying on the floor, passed out. He's like, Mom, are you okay? And he checks her vitals, seeing that she's okay. And he realizes that Hisashi didn't teleport him too far. He was just a few blocks from his house. So he starts sprinting back, saying, no. And when he arrives there, he just sees the house completely damaged. He sees just everything in a blaze, and that's when he sees his father's corpse lying on the floor, and he was like, no, Dad, and tries to wake him up, saying, no, Dad, no. And that's due to his frustration, anger, sadness, he unlocks his first Samurai Sharingan. And with this unlocking of his Sharingan, he remembers one name. He just remembers All For One. And Izuku, takes one of his kunais that was lying around and stabs it into his hand, similar to Naruto. Says, I will kill All For One. Pledging that, get revenge for his father. And Izuku, passes out because he has never experienced a Sharingan, and he just stabbed himself, and his father just died. So I think a normal person would pass out. Izuku wakes up in the hospital with his mother right beside him, and he's told the news, but he already knew. And Izuku, at this point, his personality is completely changed, and now he's turned into emo Sasuke. Yeah, damn near, basically. And All For One teleports back to the doctor and says, I got it. And the doctor's like, really? You got it. Him all excited. Starts researching it, and he comes to a conclusion that the Sharingan works of this life force called chakra. And I'm so blind I haven't seen this, but everyone has chakra. It seems that quirks originated from this chakra, but no one's able to use it at all. But this Sharingan, these Uchihas, that last one you just killed off, is able to access some bit of it to activate this technique, you could say, And the abilities I saw in this, it's mesmerizing. It's phenomenal. I've researched this, and this seems to be like an ancient tablet saying Uchiha on top of this hill. But it says you need true vision to see the truth. I think I'll finally understand what that means. And Off One just starts to laugh and smile, says, "So we better get to work, Doctor." So after this incident, Izuku becomes a complete monster. He starts training to master his taijutsu, kenjutsu, and ninjutsu. So Izuku, throughout these years of training, tries to remember the feeling of the Sharingan, but can't seem to reactivate it. Izuku's fire-breathing quirk at this point is the equivalent to the Great Fireball Jutsu. And Izuku's cold with the kunai and swords and etc. And he also has, shuriken throwing and his sword and all that stuff. And Izuku's speed, oh my god, it's great speed. Well, I don't want to say great speed, and you guys might think, I'm just gonna say, yeah, great. So I'm gonna say he's faster than Nita speed, This is just his natural purebred speed. He's Uchiha genes. And this in total takes Izuku 7 years to fully complete. And Izuku, yeah, he's a G. He's a G. And at this point, now it's the beginning of the anime. So Izuku, throughout the whole school, is actually feared in his class, because every time everyone tries to interact with Izuku just gives them a cold scare, which just sends shivers down their bodies, like, oh, what the heck is that? And they start to, distance themselves from Izuku. But the girls, they find that even more arousing. They're like, what the heck is going on right now? Yeah. And Izuku's rivalry with Bakugo. Still, Izuku does not acknowledge this guy at all. He does not care for Bakugo at all. And Bakugo always tries to like, hey nerd, and Izuku just walks right past him. Every single time he tries to touch him, Izuku does a freaking move. Like, he grabs his arm, gets behind him, pulls out a kunai, and says, do you want to try that again or die? And everyone's like, whoa, and Bakugo's like, crap, that nerd. And yeah, that every single time that pushes Bakugo to go further and further with his quirk. But Izuku, he's just a G, man. He's too cold with it. So yeah, just like in anime, the teacher starts talking about, I want you to start thinking about your futures, etc. And he throws the papers in the air. Izuku does not really react to anything of this. And the teacher says, oh, Bakugo, you're on a UA. And Bakugo does his speech and says, Izuku too? That's expected since your fault. I'm sorry, Izuku. I didn't mean to. And Izuku just scoffs. And everyone knows not to mention his father, because that's the one triggering thing that you don't mention. Bakugo even knows that. And it's not like he's completely scared. He just does it out of respect. Because you don't talk about someone's father like that, man. No. Especially how he died. They didn't mention all for one and all that. They just mentioned he died saving his family from a villain attack with the house on fire and etc. like that. So everyone just does not mention Izuku's father anymore, saying that, he needs to be a pro hero, because it's going to only end bad. It's not a compliment. It's basically a diss to Izuku. So yeah. Izuku's like, yeah, I'm going to UA. I'm going to be a great hero. I'm gonna kill a certain man. Everyone's like, wait, what? Them kind of getting anxious and etc. Izuku, after class, just like anime, it's walking down the tunnel, and he's thinking to himself, after 7 years, I still can't unlock that feeling I did after that died. I'm pathetic. I need to train more. And he starts walking, and that's when he senses something. He's like, was that. And as he turns around, it's too late. The Sludgeon's on top of him, saying, thanks for the body, kid. And he starts choking Izuku out. And it's just like, what the? And he can't use his quirk because the sludge goes inside of his mouth. He's like, oh god, no way, I can't die. Not before I even accomplish anything. I'm so weak. Why can't I even do anything? I let that die. I can't unlock the Sharingan. Now I'm gonna die to a pathetic villain. And Izuku, through his frustration, you guessed it, unlocks his Sharingan yet again. He activates it. And Izuku is able, due to his activation of his quirk, gets a slight boost in his strength. Is able to escape the sludgeman and goes gasping for air. And as Izuku recollects himself, before he can actually do any damage to the villain, we just hear, no need to fear, because I am here. Izuku turns back and he's like, oh, All Might. And he just hears Texas smash, and he destroys the sludge villain. And Izuku is able to stay on his feet, due to his training and his durability and etc. Izuku recovers from that blast. He goes, oh my god. And he walks up to All Might like, All Might, long time no see. And All Might's like, who are Izuku? Oh my goodness, you've grown so much. It's been such a long time. Izuku's like, yeah, All Might. What are you doing here? This is not your region. Oh, it's like, oh yeah. Always so straight to the point. Yeah, Izuku. I'm here on a business trip. I'm doing some hero work. As a hero should do, right, Izuku? Izuku's like, yeah, guess so, All Might. So when are you gonna train me? And All Might's like, Izuku, you know what? I don't have time for that. Your old uncle is very busy. And Izuku's like, you're not my uncle, All Might. All Might's like, come on, at this point I basically am. I know your yeah. Anyways, so I gotta get going, Izuku. It's been nice talking to you. And Izuku's like, I guess I'll see you around, All Might. But wait, how do I get into UA? And All Might's like, son, I can't be doing you any favors. You might be my favorite nephew, but I can't be doing you favors. And Izuku's like, I'm not really your nephew, but sure. Alright, then All Might, useless old man. And All Might jumps away. So yeah, Izuku is friendly with All Might. Yeah, like I said earlier, because Izashi found out about All Might's secret and etc. And they sort of became friends. But after his father's death, after Izashi died, All Might started to come around to see Izuku, protect him, because in case All For One comes back for Izuku, you never know. So All Might developed a close relationship with Izuku to get, to keep him safe and do him as to keep him safe as a favor to Hisashi, So yeah, he calls him his nephew. And before, Izuku used to call him uncle, but he kind of grew out of that. It's him still being emo and all, basically. Stacy's mom. I'm sorry, that was Urge. So yeah, that's Izuku and All Might's relationship right now. And Izuku at this point in time still does not know about One For All, but he knows about All For One and his fight with All Might and All Might's injury and his skeleton form, but he does not know about One For All. Just to make that clear. So, anyways, Izuku starts his 10 months training. So, basically, I'm not going to cover much the 10 months. So, in these 10 months, Izuku, of course, gets a good understanding on his Sharingan, and he gets his second Tomori due to training, and inherently unlocks Genjutsu. And in these 10 months, Izuku has made real progress than he has in those 7 months. with the Sharingan, of course. And Izuku at the end of the 10 months would be standing there, completely covered in sweat, just at a field, gasping for air, smiling, saying, "Finally." And then he would sense someone, and he'd turn around, and he'd say, "What the hell are you doing here, Bakugo?" Bakugo's like, "I heard you've been training here for the past 10 months, and I had to see it for myself." "Izuku, for all these years, you always thought you were the best. You never acknowledged me. Now I'm gonna make sure you do. I want to fight you. I want to fight you right here, right now." And Izuku's like, "Fight me? What makes you think you're even on my level to even challenge me?" Bakugo's like, "Let's see about that!" And Izuku turns on his Sharingan, and Bakugo's like surprised, like, "What the hell's that?" And then he's like, "It don't matter." Ah! And he does an explosion on Izuku. And he just smiles. No, the smoke clears, and he sees Izuku on the floor. And then that's when he smiles. He's like, "I finally won." And Izuku's like, "Is that so?" Right behind him, he's like, "Wait, what?" And that's when he tries to throw explosions. But every time he thinks he defeated him, Izuku just appears behind him. And Izuku's like, "Wait, what the?" And Bakugo's like, "What the heck's going on?" In reality, Izuku put Bakugo in a genjutsu, and not as powerful one, to be honest. And Izuku, seeing that he was able to put Bakugo in a genjutsu so easily, one that wasn't even so powerful, makes him even think less of him. And Izuku just walks away, just saying pathetic. And Bakugo's stuck in that genjutsu for another 2 minutes. And once he comes to reality, he's like, "What the?" I'm out of breath, suddenly just sweating, seeing Izuku disappear. Then it's gone a little darker, and he's like, "What the hell was that?" And now he starts thinking Izuku has witchery, craft, witchery. But you get what I'm saying. Izuku goes back home, content with his training, and excited to go to his UA entrance exam. So, yeah, Izuku wakes up and he says goodbye to his mom. His mom wishes him good luck, saying, "I know these years have been hard, Izuku, but I know your father would have wanted you to go down this path." But Izuku just saying, "Thanks, Mom. I'll see you after school. I'll see you after the entrance exam." And he dashes out to go to the UA. Izuku arrives, and he's confident in himself, actually being intimidated by other people, so he doesn't trip, so he does not meet Uraraka. But Uraraka does notice him for sure. Izuku has a presence, without a doubt. So they start the entrance exam, and Izuku's sitting right next to Bakugo, and he's pissed off because Bakugo is just giving him weird stares, trying to figure out what Izuku done, and Izuku is over just saying, "Ah." And he does the test reluctantly. Izuku, not being dumb, he gets a pretty good score. Gets pretty good mark. Yeah, pretty good mark. And that's when they start the combat exercise. The combat section of the exam. With President Mike starts to explain what they're doing and all that stuff. And Ida, of course, says, "Oh, you missed one point of the exam, the 0-point robot. As UA, I don't expect you guys to make these such trivial mistakes." And President says, "I was getting to that, but the 0-point robot, it's just an obstacle. You do not want to interact with those." And everyone does that example. And does not call out Izuku for mumbling, because Izuku, he's nonchalant, basically. Nonchalant emo. Nonchalant emo. Anyways, yeah. They all get separated and go to their designated places. Izuku at this point is stretching, not worrying about Uraraka or anything. And everyone notices Izuku, and they notice Izuku looks small in his jumpsuit, because his jumpsuit's a little baggy. So they think of him as weak and easy prey, which Izuku kind of laughs at, because he could feel them staring at him and like kind of looking down on him. And Izuku just realized, and Izuku just says, "I'm gonna humble these guys real quickly." So yeah, President Mike says, "What are you guys standing there for? Go, go, go!" And everyone starts running in. And Ida starts to rush ahead of everyone, and Izuku does too, actually being ahead of Ida, and Ida's like, what the? Okay? And everyone else is surprised. Izuku sees his first robot, and he goes, fire breath! And he does a simple fireball jutsu, you could say. And he hits the robot, which gets him his first point. And Izuku goes around doing this completely. Izuku experience and skill with weaponry, taijutsu, and his quirk coming all in hand. Izuku was able to get a grand total of 75 combat points. Izuku is a complete beast, you know. And since Izuku's different in this what if, Izuku actually does not save anyone. So Izuku does not get any types of hero points at all. He's just stealing the points from people, not saving them. And they can all see that he is doing that. And the 0-point robot comes around, and Izuku this time pays no mind to it. Even though he hears Uraraka, his first instinct was to go, but since he's still stuck-minded, this narrow-minded on this goal to be strong enough to defeat All For One, the guy that took his father away from him, he resists his instincts and just walks away, thinking another pro hero would save her, which a pro hero did, which was on standby. So they end the exam, and Izuku simply walks away, not really caring what else happens. So yeah, Izuku gets home and he waits for his letter for a week, confident that he got in. Izuku gets his letter and he opens it and he places this on the table. And of course, All Might appears, and Izuku's like, oh, that's why Uncle was here. Him kind of getting annoyed that All Might's here. And that's when All Might's like, hey there, Izuku. I bet you weren't expecting me. Sorry that your letter's late. I've been really backed up right now. But you, Izuku Midoriya, have shown such tremendous results on your exam. You got a grand total of 75 rescue points. And he starts to explain, and there was another point of the exam, but it doesn't matter because he got 0 of it. And All Might starts to say to Izuku that he needs to work on his heroism for sure. His combat ability is elite, but you need to work on that heroism because you are trying to be a hero, of course. And Izuku kind of just brushes that off, not really caring at all. But he's happy. He finally made it into UA. Now he's one step closer to killing All For One. And Izuku is happy, tells his mother the news, and the mother celebrates for Izuku. Izuku only cracking a little smile for her, with her being happy that Izuku actually smiled for once. So the next day, everything happens. You have that flashback for the teacher congratulating both of them. Bako looking at Izuku still trying to figure him out, but Izuku does not care. So finally Izuku arrives at UA, and he heads to class. And he does not pay attention to anyone, even though he opened the door and saw Bako and Ida arguing. He does not care and just sits down. Izuku is not friendly at all. But despite him having this presence of leave me alone, there's two certain people that still care enough to talk to him. Uraraka and Kirishima. They're all talking about, oh wow, your quirk's so cool, and all that stuff. And Izuku's like, oh yeah, okay, alright, yeah, kind of agreeing, kind of trying to brush him off. But that's when Azawa calls him, you guys, 8 seconds for you to settle down. Anyways, put these on and meet me outside. But everyone confused. So in the locker room, Izuku's changing, and entering Kirishima's like, I feel like I recognize you from some... Oh wait, wasn't your dad Dragon? And Bako hearing this turns his head and he's like, oh my god. And Izuku's like, yeah, he was. And he's like, Kirishima's like, yo, he was one of my favorite heroes, man. And everyone starts joining in. Yeah, Dragon, he was such a great hero. So tragic what happened. Izuku's like, yeah. And they're like, oh, sorry, dude, we didn't mean to be so insensitive. I'm sorry for your loss, dude. Izuku's like, just don't ever talk about it again. And all of them was like, okay, respecting his wish not to talk about it. So they go outside to meet Aizawa, and Aizawa starts to explain his philosophy on life and quirks are not fair and etc. And instead of calling Izuku, he calls up Bakugo to the stage. With Izuku being surprised that Bakugo came first place, and he's actually pissed off that he came first. And that's the first time Izuku like damn near lost to Bakugo like that. And Bakugo's kind of like being smug about it, saying, "Stand back, you extras. Let me show you what real power is." And that's when he throws the ball, getting his score, and all that stuff goes the same. So yeah, the first exercise everyone does is the 50-meter dash, and Izuku, like I said, him being faster than Ida, was able to become first place. I think Ida got, 3 seconds. Yeah, Izuku, let's say he got 2.9 seconds. Just a 0.1 difference. Izuku's pretty fast. Oh no, actually never mind. Everyone's gonna say that's not fast. That's just the speed of a car. Like whatever, guys. It's Izuku's raw speed. Doesn't have a quirk to. Anyways, whatever. Yeah, which everyone is completely blown away by that, and they just kind of dismiss it, saying, "Well, he was the son of dragon, so it makes sense." For every single exercise, Izuku dominates it, and everyone would say that. And Izuku starting to get pissed off, saying, "Why is everyone diminishing my accomplishments by just saying he's the son of dragon?" And Izuku's kind of getting triggered by this, but he dismisses it. Izuku, at the end, comes second place. Momo being first, but he doesn't really care about that. And he threatens, and of course, Venetta's last. And Aizawa threatens he will expel him, but he's just saying no, you have to do extra lessons to catch up to these people. And he's like, yeah, of course, I will. Anything to say, please. After class, Izuku would be walking home until he's stopped by Uraraka and Ida trying to talk to him. Yeah. And Kirishima saying, "Hey," stopping him, and Izuku, he's annoyed, but he acts a little bit friendly than he does. Ida does not really mess with Izuku like that, but he's only there because Uraraka's there and Kirishima's there. But he doesn't, I don't want to swear. He doesn't mess with Izuku this recent amount of time. But Kirishima and Uraraka really do. So it's finally the next day. Today it's a normal day. They go to classes as usual. Until the last period where All Might comes running in saying, "Running through like a normal hero," or something like that. And he starts to explain the combat exercise they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing a combat exercise, and to do that they need their hero costumes. So yeah, everyone gets the hero costumes, and I'm going to say Izuku's hero costume is going to be the Anbu outfit, because that looks sick. And I'm saying with the mask, kind of like Itachi, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is pretty cool in the outfit. And afterwards, Izuku's walking out, and it was like, whoa, so cool. It's like a ninja. And yeah. Someone was about to mention Izuku's dad, but then they held themselves, knowing that I wouldn't want it to be mentioned every single time. I wouldn't want everyone to mention my father every single time. My dead father, to be specific, every single time I do something. So yeah, they don't say nothing. So All Might starts to elaborate on the exercise, what they're going to be doing. It's going to be a hero side and a villain side, and he picks out the teams, and I'm not going to be changing the teams at all. So so he matches up Izuku's team versus Bakugo's team as usual. So before the match, Uraraka's sitting there with Izuku, and Izuku's just thinking to himself. And Uraraka says, "So, what's the plan, Izuku?" Izuku's like, "The plan is for you not to get in my goddamn way. I'll deal with everyone." And she's like, "That's rude. And Izuku's like, I don't play games when it comes to combat. I don't play games when it comes to combat, Uraka. So I'm telling you, don't get in my way, alright? And it's just like, jeez, alright then. I guess we're supposed to work on a team, but I guess not. Cranky pants. And Izuku's like, whatever, and just rolls his eyes and brushes it off. All Might shouts, go! And they all run into the building. And Izuku's like, go that way. I don't want you by my side. And Uraka's like, jeez, what the heck? And she runs out of the way. Izuku's running down the halls and he just hears, boo, boo, you Deku! And Izuku's like, Bakugo. And then Bakugo comes through, it's like, Deku! And he does an explosion around the corner and Izuku quickly dodges it, seeing it with the Sharingan before. Izuku stands there, it's like, Bakugo, you wanna fight me again? Are you sure about that? Bakugo's like, yeah, this time I'm ready. I'll make sure not to look in those wretched eyes of yours. I know what you did. You put me in some kind of illusion, but I won't fall for it no more. And Izuku's like, glad you finally figured it out. But that's not gonna help you. And that's when Izuku goes, Fireball Jutsu! And it spits out a fire. And Bakugo's like, you think that will stop me? And explodes through the fire. And he goes rushing to Izuku. And Izuku's like, okay. And he's using Sharingan to try to see the path he's going. But he can't predict people's movements yet, because that's a feature of the third Tomoe. And Izuku only has the 2 Tomoe. So he's trying his best right now. And Bakugo comes at him throwing explosion punches, but Izuku's dodging it, using his pure natural speed and trying to use his Sharingan. So this fight continues to be even, with Bakugo trying to not look at Izuku's eyes, but him also trying to not look at Izuku's eyes, putting him in a disadvantage, so Izuku's taking advantage of a lot of that stuff. Meanwhile, Uraka arrived at Ida's place, and she does not know what to do at all, so she runs in saying, I'm here to stop you, Ida. And Ida, does his villain thing, going, you treacherous hero. You finally arrived. Doing all that stuff. And he actually catches Uraka off guard and uses Recipio Burst to tie her up. And that's when All Might says, Ochaku Uraka was eliminated. And Baku just smiles like, your sidekick was eliminated. And Izuku's like, I didn't need her anyways. And that's when Izuku does a blow to Bakugo, doing an uppercut. And he's like, oh, God damn it! And out of a fit of rage, she looks directly at Izuku. And Izuku's like, you imbecile. And it puts him in a Genjutsu. And Bakugo's like, no! And Bakugo is stuck in the Genjutsu. But Bakugo, being aware of the Genjutsu actually happening, is able to quickly get out of it. And he's like, you're I was gonna swear again just there. I was getting 2 into a row. You're dumb, Genjutsu. You're dumb. Illusions didn't do anything to me. And that's when he turns around and just sees a great fireball jutsu coming at him. And Bakugo's like, crap. And Izuku's like, I didn't need it to. And it hits Bakugo, and Bakugo is completely burnt. Well, not completely burnt. He's just hit by the attack and he's passed out. And Izuku wraps him in tape, saying, gotcha. And that's when you hear, Katsuki Bakugo has been eliminated. And Izuku just smiles. He's like, one down, another one to go. And Izuku finally arrives at the place. Just see the rooms empty. He just sees the bomb and he's like, oh, okay. Starts walking in. And Ida tries to catch Izuku off guard using Recipio kick at Izuku. He's no fool. He's trained in ninjutsu, genjutsu, kenjutsu, all the jutsus. He's not dumb. So he dodges that kick and he grabs Ida and slams him. And Ida's like, such amazing strength. And Izuku's like, yep. And he turns on his Sharingan and puts Ida in a genjutsu. but he does not know that he's in a genjutsu, so he's stuck in there for quite a while. And Izuku touches the bomb, saying, too easy. And that's when All Might shouts, "The hero team wins!" And everyone starts erupting in the observational places. So, all of them come back for feedback from All Might, and All Might asks everyone, who do you think is the MVP? Everyone starts thinking of Izuku, but until Momo puts up her hand, saying the true MVP is actually Ida. He embraced the role, and he made sure the bomb was safe, and he was able to easily capture Uraraka faster than Izuku did with Bakugo. And that makes him the MVP, and Ida's like, really? And Izuku's pissed off, saying, what? But he lost, I won. And that's when All Might arrives and said, yes, that may be true, but you abandoned your teammate so you could work by yourself. That was not the point of the exercise. The point of the exercise was you work together to capture the bomb. You abandon your teammate. That's unacceptable. And Izuku's like, why does that matter if I get the mission done? Izuku, a part of the job of being a pro hero is being able to cooperate with other people. You blatantly ignore that fact of being a hero, and you could have plenty of people killed simply not working with your partner. I cannot accept that. And Izuku's still pissed off, saying, God damn it! And Ida's, happy that he's the MVP, and Izuku's starting to, get pissed off that everyone's praising Ida even though he won. And Bakugo's just pissed off that he lost to Izuku again. So everyone's just basically pissed off. So after class, Bakugo comes to Izuku saying, I will beat you. And I'll beat it in a way it's so obvious that I destroyed you, Izuku. And Izuku just laughs, saying, I like to see you try, Bakugo. But just so you know, you will never be as good as me. Ever. And Bakugo's like, and he walks off all pissed off. And All Might witnessed this, saying, Jesus Christ, Izuku. I gotta work on you quite a bit. So yeah. The next day happens, and it's a normal day until Izawa tells them that they're going to be going to the USJ, so they need to get ready. And so they go on the bus, and most of the conversation goes the same, but one little difference is that Sue actually asks, so Izuku, do you have two quirks like Todoroki? I noticed that you have this fire, like spin fire quirk, like your dad, and this illusion quirk. Bakugo mentioned you won't be stuck in these illusions, and you done it with Ida, and your eyes glow, so I'm so confused. And Izuku's like, I guess you could say that. Or you could say, it's one quirk that's just way better than all of yours. And everyone's like, oh, ego much? And Izuku just kind of laughs, and he's like, don't worry about it. That's my business, isn't it? And everyone's like, oh, okay. But the girl's kind of allowed because, Izuku, he's hot. So, you didn't hear that from me. So anyway, so they arrive at the USJ. All that goes the same. They meet 13. Uraraka's excited. She starts explaining. She's like, where's All Might? He's got busy. He overworked himself. And etc. So, just like in anime, the villains start popping up. And Izawa jumps down to try to help. Izuku wants to do the same until he's kind of cornered by Kurigiri saying, where do you think your guys is going? And he tries to do a speech, but that's when Bakugo and Kirishima go into action and stop him. But due to that reaction, he teleports all the kids randomly. And just like in anime, Ida escapes to go and call the heroes, etc. So Izuku arrives in the water and he's like, what the hell? And he sees the villain coming at him, and he tried to do a fireball jutsu, but he realized he can't use it won't burn him, he's in water. And he's like, God damn it. But that's when Sue comes and kicks the villain away. And she grabs him by his tongue and places him on the ship. Izuku's like, I had to get you. And he sees Mineta there kind of shaking. He's like, hi, Midoriya. And Izuku's like, okay. Remember what All Might said. Alright. Alright, we gotta work together to escape on this. And they're both kind of surprised, like, wait, what? She's like, oh, work. So what are you guys' names? And she's like, my name is Sue, but, oh wait, what's her name? What's her actual name? Wow, okay, I forgot her name. But you can call me Sue. My quirk is called Frog. You can do anything a frog can do. Jump, long tongue, whatever. Okay, my name is Manetta. I have these balls on my head. They're very sticky, but I bounce right off them. It looks like, okay, Froppy, your quirk could work. Yours, I don't even know how you got in the UA. But anyways, okay, I think I got a plan. So they come up with the same plan as in anime, but this time Izuku's gonna use the fireball jutsu to try to create a vortex. And so he's gonna have to try to put a lot of oomph, into the fireball jutsu, kind of make it more condensed, but more pressure wave against it. But Izuku, since he has a better throat than his dad, he's able to make that happen. He kind of condenses the ball and he shoots it, and it makes a vortex. And he's kind of happy that happened because now he unlocked a new skill, you could say. And that's when that's when Mineta starts throwing his balls like in anime, and they all get stuck. They arrive on the floor to see Aizawa on the floor, being decayed, and the Nomu just sitting on him. And Zuko's like, what the hell's going on? And Mineta's like, let's get out of here, we can't save him. And Zuko's like, let's not get out of here, but let's fight. And Mineta's like, you crazy? We can't fight them. And Mineta being so loud, Shigaraki says, oh, who are those over there? Raise a head. Your students? And he's just like, you get out of here, kids! You can't be here! Get out of here! He'll kill you! And Shigaraki's like, whoa, who said that? Why are you jumping to conclusions? But you're not wrong. Nomu, capture them. And then Nomu gets off Shigaraki and starts running towards them. And he actually grabs Froppy by the arm, and he brings her to Shigaraki. And Izuku's like, God damn it! And Shigaraki's like, oh, a Razorhead, what do we got here? It's one of your students. What, is she a frog hybrid or something? What are you? And Froppy's kind of freaking out, going, and Aizawa's like, let go of her, that has nothing to do with her. And Shigaraki's like, oh, it has everything to do with her. And that's when he goes to decay her arm, and Izuku's like, God damn it! And Izuku dashes forward, and he actually takes the decay for Froppy, remembering All Might's words saying, a true hero saves everyone, even heroes. And it's kind of a speech Izuku's heard for basically like 7 years now, and Izuku's actually implementing it, thinking, whatever, I guess I'll do it. Starting to get a handle on his heroism, but he's not out there. He takes the blunt of the decay, and he's like, crap! And Shigaraki's like, oh, what do we have here? But before we could react or anything, Izuku does kind of like a jumps in the air, movement in the air, and kind of a back kick to Shigaraki's cheek, and Shigaraki falls down onto the floor, being surprised by Izuku's strength. Shigaraki's like, and Izuku, before Shigaraki can order Nomu to do anything, Izuku kicks Shigaraki, and Shigaraki's like, Nomu! And the Nomu runs towards Izuku and slaps him away. And Izuku being slapped away, my god, he basically almost breaks his arms, blocking that. And he's like, crap, what the? And Izuku at this point is all bloody and stuff. And Izuku's like, there's only one thing I can truly do. And Shigaraki's like, no move, get him. And Izuku turns on his Sharingan and he looks Shigaraki directly in the eye and puts him in the Genjutsu. And Shigaraki's like, oh, what the? Nobu, attack! Nomu? And that's when Shigaraki's just put in a nightmare, because you know his mental health is really not good. Now he's putting in an illusion. It's gonna be really bad for him. So basically, Shigaraki's experiencing one of his worst nightmares. You guys use your imagination for that. It could be almost anything. It could be him being alone again, or it could be like him being beaten by All Might, or literally an actual fear like of spiders or something. Hey, all possibilities are limitless. But in reality, Shigaraki's just screaming for help, and the Nomu's just standing there waiting for its orders, doesn't know what's going on. And everyone's so confused, and Izuku just kind of smiles and goes, but he's all bloody and stuff. But that's just as that happens, All Might arrives saying, I am here! And he sees the situation and quickly runs down to Izuku's aid. It's like, Izuku, are you okay? Izuku's like, I'm fine. Just save everyone, All Might. And All Might hearing that, it's like, did he just say save everyone? Oh, huh. It seems that my lessons are finally being pounded into this young man. But you filthy villains, you've hurt my students, and I won't let this slide. And this time, you know, since not being ordered around the Nomu, All Might is able to hit the Nomu away and actually hit it into atmosphere like in anime and overwhelm it. And Shigaraki is still stuck in the Genjutsu. No, I didn't mean it, saying random stuff. And All Might's surprised what's going on, but quickly puts together Izuku must have put him in the Genjutsu or illusion, whatever. I'm still gonna call it Genjutsu. Genjutsu, and he was about to go and capture him, and that's when Kiryu comes around, says, "Seer All Might," and he disappears. And All Might's like, "Crap! God damn it!" And he's pissed off. But he sees the situation, and he's happy that casualties were kept to a minimum. Like, only 2 people got injured. One of them was his students, but it's better than all of them being captured or killed. Anything but that. So anyways, Izuku passes out and he wakes up in the infirmary and he's starting to recover. He sees All Might right beside him in his small mouth form, and Izuku's like, All Might, what the hell are you doing in that pathetic form? All Might just laughs, going, gotta conserve my energy, kid. How are you doing? Izuku's like, like crap. That freak thing almost broke my arms. And All Might's like, take it easy, kid. I saw what you did there. Quite heroic. Izuku's like, it wasn't nothing. I was only doing it for my personal gain. And All Might's like, how is that so? Izuku's like, don't worry about it. And All Might's like, okay, alright, fine. But you have someone here wanted to talk to you. Izuku's curious who this is, and it's actually Froppy that walks through the door saying, Midoriya, I just wanted to thank you. And Izuku's like, for what? She's like, in that situation where that villain was about to decay me, I was helpless, I was defenseless, but you took the blunt for me, and I just have to thank you. Izuku's like, I know, whatever. I just had to help a useless lamb in a situation, that's it. And almost like, Izuku, why would you say that? And Izuku just kind of says, whatever, just leave. I need to sleep. And Froppy is okay with Izuku saying that, because, you know, now she developed a little crush, just like every single girl in the class. But, you know, he's Izuku. He's hot. Okay, I can't keep saying that. That's kind of bayo. But no, nothing wrong with that. No, I'm not. No. Do not cancel me. I swear, I'm not. Take 2. So yeah, Izuku goes back to sleep and he recovers for the sports festival. Aizawa starts explaining to them all that they're going to be doing the sports festival and they need to get ready. They have 2 weeks to train however they like they please. However they like they please? English. Alright, so Izuku decides that he's not going to try to upgrade his Sharingan in that because really he can't do much in 2 weeks. But what he's really going to do is strength exercise to increase his strength and speed and durability because clearly from that fight with the Nomu, it's not up to par as it should be. He barely hanged on until All Might came. So that's what Izuku's doing. He's doing some intense training, similar to Rock Lee, you could say. So yeah, just 2 weeks happened, and Izuku's durability, strength, and speed has increased quite a bit, but not anything special or anything like that. So finally, it's time for the sports festival. Izuku would be chilling in the locker room until Todoroki comes in and he challenges Bakugo. Oh, no. He challenges Izuku. No, clickbait. No, he challenges Izuku saying, I will defeat you. Since you're all buddy with All Might, I'm gonna make sure I destroy you and show my old man I can beat you with just my eyesight. Izuku just stands up, kind of smiles, and he turns on his Sharingan, kind of startling Todoroki, and Izuku would say, shut the up, little ass. Pretend those were words. I don't give a what your old man is thinking, but I'm gonna shut your up, alright? I don't want to hear this, none of this. I'll beat you with my left side, bitch. That's gonna make you lose. If you don't use your full strength against me, you'll soonly regret it. And Izuku kind of shoulder checks him and he starts walking. And Todoroki's kind of stunned and he's surprised, and it was kind of badass, can't lie. He's like, oh, okay, and he's kind of getting hyped. And Bakugo, seeing that, he's kind of pissed off that Todoroki didn't challenge him. What? Look, Bakugo's not strong enough, he's not good enough. So Bakugo's hyped up too. So it's time to start the sports festival. Everyone walks out as usual and everyone's gathered. Izuku sees a lot of people. He's like, wow, UA's bigger than I thought. And Uroka's like, yeah, I know, right? There's so many people. There's so many courses. I'm so lucky we're in the hero course. Izuku's like, yeah, I guess so. And he's just looking around. And that's when Midnight announces the sports festival and calls Bakugo to the stand since he got number 1. And Izuku's still kind of salty about that because that was the only thing Bakugo beat him at. So Bakugo goes to the stage and he says, I'm gonna win, and makes everyone mad and puts a target on UA's back, on Class 1A's back again. And Izuku can't help but kind of laugh, thinking that Bakugo thinks he's gonna win. So he's kind of hyped from that. So I'm gonna brush over these sports festival events. So anyways, the first event is the race. And I'm not really going to cover much of this. Izuku does not come first in this event, but he does come third. Yeah, he does come third. No. Yeah, he does come third. Yeah. Izuku's speed is faster than Ida's, but very close. So it was basically a race between them. And Izuku tried to catch up to Bakugo and Todoroki, but their quirks allowed them to go faster, which kind of pissed off Izuku and realized I need to get faster than I am before, because I can't let bummy Bakugo beat me in anything ever again. So yeah, Todoroki came first place, Bakugo second, Izuku third, and Ida fourth, and etc. Izuku's still super salty after that result. Like, Uraka kind of trying to come up and congratulate him, but Izuku kind of dismisses her, saying, no, that was horrible performance from me. Making Uraka kind of feel like insecure and like her results were insignificant because she got like, I don't know, like let's say 23rd, and he came third and he's still getting angry. She kind of felt some type of way and like what the heck? And Kirishima tried to congratulate him, but Izuku did the same thing. But Kirishima doesn't care, he's just happy that he qualified. So everyone's starting their teams, and since Izuku does not have the 10 million points, Izuku gets a solid team, a strong team. So he gets Uraraka, Dark Shadow, And instead of Hatsume, let's put in. Nah, never mind. It's gonna be the same team. It was a good team to begin with, can't lie. So yeah, it's a same team. No need to change that. So yeah, the cavalry battle, I'm not gonna cover much of it. Izuku's team kind of maintain their points. They kind of keep their distance from the other teams, but they do attack, mainly using Dark Shadow to get the bandanas and etc. And Izuku would use his actual quirk to separate them and from other teams. They try to get the 10 million points, but Todoroki kept on guard and he was actually able to retain it. So Izuku's team came second place, and Izuku yet again is pissed off, which actually narratively pisses off Uraraka again. Yep. So now it's time for the 1v1s. Yep. So yeah, all the girls still get tricked and etc. to put on the uniforms, but this time they're not so angry because maybe they think this will get Izuku's attention, but Izuku does not pay attention. And Uraraka was not into that plan because she's not really messing with Izuku right now. She's kind of pressed about something. So anyways, it's time to start the battles. Izuku announced his first battle will be against Shinso, and Izuku's walking to the stage until he's stopped by Ojiro. Tell him that this guy, he's kind of weird, he has some type of quirk that controls people. Izuku kind of smiles thinking, that's interesting. And he's like, make sure you beat him for me. And Izuku's like, alright then. So he walks up to the stage, and the crowd starts roaring, seeing Izuku's performance and excited to see what he's truly capable of. Izuku walks up to the stage and Shinso does, and Shinso tries to make fun of Izuku and like all these other classmates. But doing that kind of just makes Izuku smile, thinking Shinso thinks he cares about his other classmates. Until he mentions Uraraka, and that's when Izuku gets kind of agitated. And Shinso notices this, and he keeps talking trash about her, saying she's no, she can't even do this, this. And that's when Izuku's like, alright then you. And that's when he's trapped in the brainwash. Everyone's confused, like, wait, what's going on? And he's like, walk off the stage. And Izuku's about to walk off to the stage, but Izuku, since it's the experience of Genjutsu, and you could hypothetically just say this is a type of Genjutsu, Izuku's able to break himself out of that hole. And Izuku's pissed off, saying, like, what? You think you can use my tricks against me? And Shinso's so confused, like, wait, what? And Izuku dashes to Shinso, grabs him by the collar and says, you bastard. And he slams him into the ground, knocking him out and throwing him out the ring. Everyone's so like, what just happened? And everyone's impressed. And even Izuku's classmates are impressed because Izuku's strength seems to have increased. Like, being able to just grab someone by the collar and like hit them to the ground, like that's not normal stuff. That's normal strength. So yeah. No, what was that, bro? What was that, bro? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. So anyways, everyone starts roaring and screaming, cheering on Izuku. And Shinso's been walked off the stage and says, you lucky you've been blessed with such a quirk. You have somehow like 3 quirks built into one. It's unfair. And Izuku says, shut up. The world is not fair. You just have to do your best to combat it. Instead of you being pathetic and lying around, maybe you should do some training. Then you would have gone into the hero course. Some people in this world don't even have quirks. You should feel lucky that you're blessed with such a quirk, bastard. And he walks off. And Shinso heard these words and he realizes that he's been playing the victim card for way too long, man. He should have just gone straight into work, straight into his bag, and never sitting on these. Oh, I was gonna swear again, man. Anyways, yeah. All the other matches goes the same, and yeah, all the matches go the same. And I'm gonna cover Bakugo's and Uraraka's match first. So that match goes the exact same, and afterwards, it's what changes. So she's in the locker room, kind of about to cry, and Izuku having being close to her and starting to break away from this emo shell or hard ass shell or whatever, he walks into her locker room and says, you put up a great fight out there. Naruto's like, yeah, whatever, Izuku. Izuku's like, what's your problem? It seems like you've been angry at me all this time. Like, what the hell did I do to you? She's like, what the hell did you do? Did you not forget what you done at the combat exercise? Izuku's like, you're still mad about that? She's like, yeah, you just abandoned me. You just left me because I was useless to you, Izuku? That's not a way to treat a friend. Am I even your friend? It seems like this has been one-sided this whole time. And Izuku just kind of sighs and says, I'll be honest, Izuku. I'll be honest, Uraraka. I never wanted to be your friend. And that's when Uraraka kind of stands up and was about to leave, but Izuku grabs her arm saying, wait, you didn't let me finish. But you, it seems like you've been cracking my shell quite a bit. I haven't had friends in a while because I always kept pushing them away, but you, Kirishima, just keep pushing, and I guess I could say I've grown fond of you guys, even that hard-ass Ida. And Uraraka's like, really? It's like, yeah. Just don't make it weird, alright? Just don't make it weird, alright? And Uraraka, she's making it weird, going, oh, and it's just like, don't make it weird, please. Oh my god, alright, see ya, Uraraka. And he leaves the room, and Uraraka's actually happy, so she doesn't really cry into tears when her parents call her. So yeah, now I'm gonna say it's time for the ultimate battle, the fight we all been waiting for. Izuku Midoriya versus Shoto Todoroki. Izuku's walking to the stage and he stopped by Endeavor and says, your quirk, it's decent. So use that quirk to make Shoto use his fire side, bring out his true potential. Izuku would look Endeavor right in the face, turn on his Sharingan again, says, whose decent quirk do you think you're... Who has the decent quirk here, boy? Nah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I pretend he said something very disrespectful and kind of funny. So Endeavor's pissed off, saying, what you say to me, kid? Izuku's saying, alright, fine, I'll obey your wishes. I'll get Icy Hot to use his fire sign. Just don't get mad at me when I break him too much. And he walks off, and Endeavor, he's kind of happy that he accepted his request. And he says, Shoto will be the greatest hero to ever live. Bursting into laughter. So Izuku walks up to the stage, and Todoroki does, and the crowd is louder than ever, more excited for this fight. Izuku is looking at Todoroki and kind of goes, he's kind of smaller than I, he's kind of taller than I thought. Anyways. So yeah, that's when the person might shouts, go! And they start the battle. Todoroki tries to start off with a giant ice barrage. But Izuku has something that literally combats ice. Fire. He does fireball jutsu and completely destroys the ice that's coming towards Izuku. And Todoroki's like, crap. And Izuku's like, you gotta do better than that to defeat me. And Izuku turns on his Sharingan and he starts running to Todoroki, kind of like using the Naruto run. And he's quite fast, and Todoroki has to react to Izuku, but Izuku's a little too fast for him. Not a little, he's too fast for him. So Izuku gets a hit on Todoroki, and Todoroki's hit back. And he uses his ice to recover so he does not fall out the ring. Todoroki is completely impressed with Izuku, but Izuku's not done. Izuku has a sense of fireball jutsu towards Todoroki as he's recovering, and he has to put up an ice barrier. And due to Izuku's training and increasing, his ability with these fireballs, he was actually able to break the ice barrier, and Todoroki's hit back, and Izuku just keeps barraging him with fireball jutsus until there's a lot of smoke in the area where it's foggy for Todoroki to see. Izuku, having the Sharingan, he's like, this is too easy. He turns on the Sharingan and he kind of looks like you just see red eyes in the a vast amount of fog. It's kind of sick. It's kind of scary. Todoroki can't see anything and he just sees some of the eyes. It's kind of scary. So Todoroki is standing there trying to locate Izuku, but Izuku suddenly comes out of nowhere and punches Todoroki right in the face, be able to restrain him. Todoroki would be like, get off me, trying to get free, and Izuku wanting to hearing Endeavor out, says, why don't you use that fire side of yours? It's kind of stupid. And Todoroki's like, shut up, you don't know anything about me. And Izuku's like, yeah, that may be true, but your old man literally came up to me and asked me to use and told me to make you use your fire side. And Todoroki's like, that bastard, being angry and etc. And Izuku's like, you may think that, but I'm on his side. It's kind of idiotic for you to reject a certain part of yourself. Believe me, I have a part of myself for a long time I didn't even know about, but I came to accept it and the consequences with it, and you have to too, Todoroki. It's not his quirk, it's your quirk, alright? But if you want to continue to be an idiot, I'm more than sure to comply. And before Todoroki can erupt into flames and etc., Izuku, being efficient and etc., would pick Todoroki up and just kick him out the ring, and everyone would start screaming and cheering on Izuku. So Todoroki does not have that literal point where he's like he was about to, but Izuku, he's not on that timing just yet. So Izuku wins the fight and everyone's cheering, and Bakugo sees this and he's like, god damn it, Izuku. And everyone else is cheering, excited for Izuku. Izuku walks off the stage and etc. And he tries to tell Todoroki good job, but it's still not in his nature. He's just trying to change for All Might and for Uncle All Might, But anyways, so all the other fights goes the same, and finally it's time for the finals. Izuku Midoriya versus Katsuki Bakugo. The fight everyone's been waiting for. The rematch Bakugo has been waiting for. Izuku walks to the stage and Bakugo walks to the stage, and they both look at each other intensely into the face, in each other's faces. Izuku's just kind of laughing a little, seeing that this is what Bakugo's third time trying to beat him. And Izuku's like, oh, don't let me catch you like with my same old trick, Bakugo. Bakugo's like, you don't have to worry about me, I'll never lose, Izuku. And Izuku just kind of laughs. So President Mike continues to say, wow, the energy in this match. It seems that Izuku Midoriya and Katsuki Bakugo are childhood rivals. Isn't that interesting? Izawa's like, yes. Quite interesting. Hopefully we can see a different result than we're all thinking about. So anyways, finally they start the battle. Izuku instantly turns on his Sharingan and Bakugo comes straight at him. I'm not going to describe the fight too much, but what happens in the fight, it's a lot of Bakugo trying to catch Izuku off guard, seeing those blind spots in the Sharingan, but now there's not really blind spots in the Sharingan. Well, he's at 2 Tomoe, so yeah, I forgot what you unlock at 3 Tomoe. Now I remember. Predict people's movements. But Izuku, yeah, okay, there's no blind spot for Izuku, but he cannot predict these movements. But he does process. He does have a better reaction time, I could say. So Izuku's using his ninja-like agility and his Sharingan to be able to dodge his Bakugo's blows, and Izuku's using his superior fighting experience, his taijutsu, to catch Bakugo off guard, hit him uppercuts and etc., kind of embarrassing him kind of laughing. And Bakugo, he's getting pissed off, so he whips out his big guns. He whips out Howitzer Impact. So Bakugo's like, "You're done, Izuku," and he goes back and he does Howitzer Impact, and he's coming to Izuku, and Izuku, using his Sharingan, is able to land an uppercut right before Bakugo could throw even an explosion. So Bakugo is coming at him in the air, and Izuku jumps to him. And before Bakugo could release explosions, Izuku uppercuts him, send Bakugo flying. Not out of the ring though. Bakugo lands, and Bakugo, he's pissed off that Izuku was able to stop his attack before it even happened. Izuku would walk up to Bakugo and say, "It's over, Bakugo." He was about to use a fireball jutsu until he hesitates. He actually has a memory of Uncle All Might saying, "Being a hero isn't all about winning. It's about showing humility and respect and all that stuff. Izuku, you have to stop being so cruel and so merciless. A hero, you gotta show compassion and forgiveness. That's the true essence of being a hero." And Izuku's having this random flashback. He's like, "What the?" Because he's distracted, Bakugo takes this an advantage and he does an explosion, knocking Izuku out the ring. And everyone's completely shocked as Bakugo pulled a phenomenal feat. Not phenomenal. It was an unexpected outcome. Everyone starts cheering, etc. But Bakugo knows deep down that Izuku, he hesitated. He let Bakugo win, and Bakugo, he's absolutely livid. The same reaction he had with Toroki, he's doing that to Izuku, saying, "You bastard! Why would you let me win?" and all that stuff. And Izuku, he's just saying, "Get the off me, Bakugo," and just kind of walking off, pissed off, and etc. So when the match is over, All Might actually comes to Izuku, and Izuku's just sitting in the locker room on the chair with a towel over his head, and All Might comes walking in saying, "Hey kiddo, what's going on?" And Izuku's like, "Go away, Unc. I'll go away, old man. I don't want to talk to you." And All Might just kind of laughs. It's like, still beating up over that loss, huh? Izuku, how wasn't you out there? And Izuku's like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" All Might's like, "The old Izuku, the Izuku I knew, would never hesitate like that. So, but that being said, the Izuku I knew before would also never risk their own well-being to save a girl." And Izuku's like, "Alright, what's your point, old man, huh?" And All Might's like, "You may not see it just yet, but you're changing for the better. Because now you surround yourself with great people. You're starting to take up after them. Or maybe I finally started to rub off you, Izuku." No. I really do think that you always had this deep inside of you. You always listened to me. It's just that you didn't have anyone to use it for. Now meeting these people, these new friends, brought out a different side of you. A side of you that you haven't had for a long time. And it's giving you that you naturally want to protect him. You actually want to preserve that feeling you haven't felt for a long time, ever since your father died. And it looks like you mean murdered. And All Might's like, "Yes." What I'm trying to say, Izuku, is that I understand. But just understand this thing you're going through, it's for the better. And All Might walks out with Izuku. Just doesn't know what to feel. He's like, I guess. So then they do the ceremony where everyone gets the medals. Bakugo first place, chained up. Izuku second, Todoroki third, and Ida fourth, and etc. But he's distracted, and Izuku does notice that. So yeah, that was the sports festival. So after the sports festival, everyone's in class chilling and etc. until Izawa comes in telling them all about their results. All that goes the same into canon. He tells them that the sports festival is for them to see which internships they can go through. And in this what if, Todoroki gets the most internships since he won, and he's a little more favorable, with Izuku second and Bakugo third, with him being pissed off. So yeah, all that goes the same, and now they have to choose the hero names. I'm gonna make Izuku's hero name the Spit Flame. No. The copy wheel flame hero. The flame copy wheel eye Shinobi. That's what I'm gonna call it. I don't care, I like the name. So yeah, Izuku, I'm gonna say it's gonna choose the internship of Gran Torino. No need to change that, because he still has connections with All Might. It literally calls him uncle. Yeah, he's literally an uncle to him. So he chooses him. With him kind of being a little excited because All Might's scared of this guy, and for a long time he's known All Might. He's never heard of this Gran Torino, so he's curious to meet him. So yeah, when everyone's packing up and going to separate internships, Izuku notices Ida is more cold and distant, kind of acting like him. And Izuku goes up to Ida and says, "What's wrong? What's wrong with you?" And Ida's like, nothing, Midoriya. I'm just really distracted." And Izuku says, looks him dead in the eye, and Izuku's like, "I see vengeance in your eyes, Ida. Don't let that consume you. It's not built for everyone." And Ida's like, just kind of confused of what's going on. And Izuku's like, "I'm telling you, vengeance is a dark path. It's a path that's hard to get off of. Alright, Ida, you're not the type of guy for it." And Izuku walks off, and Ida is just kind of thinking of that, but he's still kind of determined to what he's gonna do. So Izuku arrives at his internship with Gran Torino. Gran Torino tries to prank him with the tomato juice. Izuku is unamused at all. He saw right through it. Gran Torino sees that Izuku is not impressed, goes straight to the point and tells him that he needs to catch him and etc. Izuku just says, "Is that a joke?" And Gran Torino says no, and starts bouncing around the room. Izuku turns on his Sharingan instantly, and he can recognize where Gran Torino is. And he tries to predict where he's gonna be, but he doesn't necessarily have that ability yet, because he's still at the Tutomori. So when he does try, Gran Torino could see that he tried to predict Izuku. He can see Izuku try to predict him, so he would change paths instantly, kind of misleading Izuku. And Gran Torino continue to do this, and Izuku's actually starting to get pissed off, and he's like, "Alright then, let me stop trying to predict it and just see where he's going." And he follows him, and he kind of runs along with him until he's actually able to cut Gran Torino off and kick him to the side. Gran Torino's like, "Impressive, kid." "Alright then, let's take it up a notch." Gran Torino goes even faster, and Izuku's able to track it. But he can't cut him off, because he's going a little too fast for Izuku to just grab him. So that's where Izuku's problem lies, and that's when he realizes it. And Gran Torino stops, saying, "So you recognize your limitation, kid." And Gran Torino's like, and Izuku's like, "What? How do you know about the abilities of my quirk, huh?" Gran Torino's like, "Well, first off, maybe because it's not a quirk." And Izuku's like, "Wait, how the hell?" Saying, "Kid, I've been along quite a while. I think I know a bit or two of the Sharingan. And Izuku's like, huh, how do you know? Who told you? It's like, well, your father, to be exact. And I've done a few bit of my research myself. And Izuku's interested, and he kind of likes Gran Torino now. Gran Torino tells him to sit down, and Izuku asks, what do you know about the Sharingan? Well, what did my dad tell you all about? And Gran Torino's like, oh, he just told me about this boring history of it, and etc. But the only interesting parts of it is that the Sharingan typically has 3 stages. The first Tomoe, second Tomoe, the stage you have right now, and third Tomoe, with the final stage. In this stage, it unlocks your sensory abilities even more and observation abilities to the point where you can predict people's movements now. Quite interesting. And your Genjutsu prowess does increase quite a bit. That's what your father told me. And Izuku's like, oh, okay. Kind of knowing all of this. And he was not amused. And Ganto was like, but he did tell me about another stage. A stage that he could barely use. He called it the Mangekyo Sharingan. And Izuku's like, yeah, the Mangekyo Sharingan. Do you know anything about it? I only know that it could give you immense strength. And he's like, yes, it does. It gives you an extra ability. Your father was able to create these, portals. He called it Kamui. It was pretty interesting. If he was able to use it more often, he most definitely would have been the most powerful hero to be out there. But due to the lack of chakra he possessed, he was unable to use that power frequently. But there was also one thing about the Mangekyo Sharingan I couldn't lay my finger on. The only thing that comes to my mind is ribs. And Izuku's like, ribs? What the heck are you talking about? It's like ribs? Like pork ribs? What are you talking about? And Gran Torino's like, I don't know. Alright then, kids, let's stop the chippy chapper. Let's get back to work. And they keep working on that, trying to unlock Izuku's third Tomoe Sharingan. So eventually Izuku gets to the point where Gran Torino is comfortable with him going on patrols. And when they do go on patrol, of course, similar to canon, they get attacked, and all that stuff goes to steam, and Izuku runs out knowing that Ida is out for vengeance. And Izuku's like, Ida, you're not built for this. And he goes off running off. So eventually we switch perspectives to Stain, trying to stab Ida, etc. And Izuku arrives just in time, uses a fireball jutsu to separate them. Stain kind of laughs, saying, what a true hero. You're risking everything to save your friend? How admirable. But guess what? The only true hero alive is All Might himself. You can never be like All Might. And Izuku's like, I would never want to be like that old fart. And Stain's like, and he goes attacking Izuku. And Izuku, finally having his hero costume, pulls out his sword. So it's gonna be a Genjutsu fight. So Izuku's fighting Stain, and they both, throwing blows with their swords. And at this point, they're actually even. Izuku's struggling quite a bit. He's surprised Stain's able to keep up with him with these speed and his quirk and the Sharingan. Izuku's like, this guy is stacked. And Stain, he's kind of having the time of his life. He's and he's actually able to overpower Izuku, actually slicing him, getting a lick of his blood, paralyzing him. And Izuku's like, no, god damn it, how could I let that happen? And Stain's like, valiant try, hero, but you're too late. And he goes up to Ida, and Ida's still paralyzed. And Stain's like, this is what happens to fake heroes, kid. And he stabs Ida. And Izuku just shouts, no! And, we start to see Izuku's more heroic side, passionate side, just like, you heartless, torturous bastard! At the TikTok sound. And Izuku unlocks his third Torin Sharingan, and he's actually able to start moving again. And Stain's like, so you're a type AB blood, the shortest one out of all of them. And Stain's pissed off. Hey, plot armor, I don't even remember his freaking thing. So anyways, plot armor. So Izuku unlocked his third Tomoe Sharingan. And Izuku's like, I'm gonna get revenge for you, Ida. And Izuku goes straight to Stain. And Izuku unlocking his third Tomoe Sharingan actually got a boost on all his stats. So he's quite more faster, stronger, and more durable. And he's gotten a little more of a buff on his fire breathing quirk. Izuku dashes to Stain at a speed he could barely track, and Izuku slices him with Stain, spitting out blood, but he recovers, and they start having a fight again. But Izuku, his speed and reaction time is incredible, that he's just simply overwhelming Stain. And Izuku's like, you bastard. And Izuku actually throws a kunai, and Stain dodges it, and Stain tries to make a remark, but Izuku just says, are you sure about that? And the Sharingan bounces back, hitting Stain on his back, piercing him. And Stain shrieks in pain, and Izuku, with him being distracted, slices him again. And Stain's like, ah! And Izuku does a backflip and does a fireball jutsu straight into Stain, freaking leaving him burnt and with cuts and etc. And Izuku, he defeated Stain. And Izuku's like, you bastard. And it was about to go and finish off Stain until we hear, eat Izuku. And it's just like, Ida. He turns off his Sharingan and everything. He's like, I'm so glad you're okay. And Ida's like, just in time. I got recontrol of my limbs and I slightly moved, so he went stab right to my heart. But it still hurts really bad, Izuku. And Izuku's like, yes, of course. And of course, when that's happening, Endeavor and Toroki and Gran Torino all arrive, seeing the situation. And they hurry to get urgent care for Ida, and they put Stain in handcuffs. And similar to anime, when they walking, the bird tries to sweep up Izuku, but Izuku turns on his Sharingan, and his presence just freaking scares the Nomu by instinct, that he goes for a different prey and grabs Ida. And just like the anime, Stain goes into action, kills in a nasty speech, inspiring all the filthy villains. So yeah, all that goes the same. Izuku, of course, does not credit for taking down Stain, but Endeavor does. But now Izuku realizes that All Might's right. He's changed. He became more heroic. Like, he would never have done that. Like, he got a power up because he thought one of his classmates died. Like, Izuku would not care. He would be cold and etc. And Izuku's going through a metamorphosis. So yeah, everyone returns back from the internship. They ask Izuku about his. Izuku's like, looks at Ida, and Ida is like, yeah, it was cool. And Izuku's like, yeah, it was super chill, nothing really happened. And I'm still trying to interrogate them, etc. So, time for final exams. To be honest, I do not want to cover final exams at all, so I'm just gonna do a brief summary, like very brief summary. So Izuku gets partnered up with Bakugo. At first, they do not want to work with each other at all until All Might's overwhelming strength forced them into. He submitted them into, and they came up with a plan to provide the most destructive power they could. So they did a combination using Baku's Scarlet and Izuku developing a new fireball style called Great Fireball Jutsu, and it combined those two and made a giant explosion. But we clearly know that was enough to take down All Might. So as the smoke cleared and All Might was about to say, you thought that was Izuku pulls the other gauntlet and it completely explodes All Might, making him actually cough, and then both pass. So that's how the exam went. And all the other ones went exactly the same, just with Toroki and not using his fire side. So yeah. So it's time for the summer camp. Everyone's excited and etc. And they'll all go to the mall and they're all left alone. And Izuku, of course, has the exact same interaction with Shigaraki. And Shigaraki completely despises Izuku for what he did to him during the USJ. Like, he absolutely hates him, but he restrains his hatred to get his question answered, and he does. So he leaves, and Izuku reports it to the police. No, not Izuku. Izuku was gonna let it, wave it off, but Uraraka reported it to the police. So finally, time for the summer camp, and they arrive there, and just like in anime, they get dropped off. None of that goes different. All that the same. He gets punched by Koda. He gets punched by Koda, and Izuku's not friendly about that. He wanted a full-on scrap, but he was stopped by Kirishima and Ida. And yeah, they all changed their quirks. Izuku training his fire breathing, and his derivation time with the third Tomoe Sharingan. Izuku, with this training, actually becomes very proficient with the Sharingan due to his immense experience with the first Tomoe Sharingan. Let's just say he's able to correlate that to the third Tomoe and get quite literally mastery control over it. So yeah, all that goes that way, and all that goes the same. The bathtub thing, besides Izuku, Izuku takes takes Koda in only because he lost by the vote, and he's told the story of Koda, and you just kind of sympathize with that because he did lose his father to a villain, so you can relate to Koda and why he hates heroes. But his anger is kind of misled. It should be hate towards villains. But anyways, so yeah, they all have that event where they all get together, and finally the villains attack. Izuku wanted a fight until one of the pussycat dolls like, where's Koda? We gotta find Koda. And Izuku, the only one that knew Koda's secret spot, is like, fine, I'll go get Koda. And she's like, be careful. Izuku's like, yeah. And he runs off until he finally arrives to see Koda is being grabbed by the collar by Musker, saying, you stupid kid. Izuku's like, leave the kid alone. Pick on someone on your own size. And Musker starts laughing. He's like, my own size? Kid, you're like 5'2". And Izuku's like, well, 5'6". But I guess so, whatever. And he puts down Koda and it's like, you want a scrap, kid? And it's like, yeah, come in with your best shot, with him smiling. And that's when Muscular comes at Izuku, and Izuku turns on his third Tomoe, and he has the ability where he can predict people's movements. So he dodges Muscular's first punch, and he throws punches towards that. So the fight's gonna continue to be like that. Izuku's dodging most of Muscular's punches because his speed is it's nothing special. Izuku far surpasses that. At this point, Izuku. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say some outrageous stuff, but not just yet. So yeah. Izuku's fight continues to do that. It's mostly dodging and hitting, and Muscular getting more frustrated to the point where Muscular is pissed off, and he takes off his eyeball thing, and that's when he starts messing Izuku up. He grabs Izuku and kind of does the Hulk smash thing, flinging it around, and Izuku's all bleeding and busted and all that stuff, and Izuku's like and he sees conveniently a metal piece on the floor similar to a sword or kunai, and picks it up, and he's like and he's starting to laugh, and Muscular's like, so you have a lustful battle too? And Izuku's like, yes. No, not really for battle, but the hunger to get stronger. And he goes fighting again, but Muscular is quite too strong. Muscular knocks back Izuku again, and Izuku at this point is bloody, and that's when Koda comes around and does spray the water onto Muscular. Muscular gets pissed off, and he grabs Koda and he's like, you stupid brat, and he throws Koda off the ledge. Izuku, seeing this, is completely shocked that he would just throw someone out, like throw someone's life like that, and he's so pissed off, and he's like, no. And you guys all knew where I was going with this. Izuku, in his fit of rage, this fit of anger that Muscular could just kill someone like that, not because the kid did something to him and etc. No, just because he wanted to. Izuku unlocks his Mangekyo Sharingan. Yes, Mangekyo Sharingan. And Izuku's pattern is, what's my favorite pattern? I'm gonna say pre-eternal Mangekyo Sharingan pattern, Madara's. I like that pattern. So Izuku's pattern's like that, but his ability is different. It's quite customary. Izuku unlocked his Mangekyo Sharingan, and he's like, I reached the stage, the Mangekyo Sharingan. And Muscular's like, oh, just because your eyes change, I'm supposed to be scared? And Izuku quite simply just smiles and says yes. And he throws a kunai, close to metal plate that cuts Muscular's cheek. And Muscular's like, no, that's cheek. Muscular's tricep, let's say tricep. And Muscular's bleeding a little. It's like, oh, that hurt a little. Because Izuku's strength, speed, durability all increased with unlocking the Mangekyo Sharingan. Izuku's like, it didn't hurt now, but it will. It didn't hurt then, but it will now. Muscular's like, wait, what? And Izuku uses his Mangekyo ability, and suddenly Muscular's small cut turns into a massive cut, and he starts bleeding intensely, and Muscular's grasping for pain, losing, his uses in that arm, and Izuku just smiles. And he walks up to Muscular, and Muscular's like, what the hell did you do to me? And Izuku's like, like you said, nothing. My eyes just changed, right? And he punches Muscular, and Muscular actually felt that. And Izuku picks up that metal piece and cuts Muscular all over, and Muscular's like, what the, and Izuku's like, Mangekyo Sharingan, disaster, and all these cuts just go bursting and bleeding, and Muscular completely dies from blood loss. So yeah, have you guys figured out Izuku's Mangekyo ability? Well, Izuku's Mangekyo ability is disaster, similar to King from Seven Deadly Sins. So Izuku can manipulate the status of an injury, you could say, yes. So a small cut can turn into a completely fatal cut. Pretty deadly. And yeah, that's only the beginning stage of it, so hey, maybe Izuku can eventually get pain manipulation. But hey, that's not anytime soon at all. That's only when new content that only comes when the new anime comes. So anyways, Izuku unlocks that ability, and his eyes start to bleed suddenly, and it gets a blurry for a second, and he regains it, and he's like, what the hell? But Izuku's like, god damn it, Koda. And of course you hear, Izuku, could you help me? And Izuku's like, Koda, you're alive. And he grabs Koda and etc. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, Izuku goes out running, and Koda is trying to say thank you. Izuku just says, shut the hell up, kid, you're distracting me. And he thinks what he can do until he finds Izawa, and he gives Koda to Izawa, and Izawa's like, what the heck happened? And Izuku gives him a full report what happened, saying that he encountered Muscular and etc. He's able to defeat him, and he figured out that they're after Bakugo, and they're also trying to kill him. And Izawa's like, what the? Izuku's like, yeah. And Izuku says, I think what we should do right now is that you take the kid back, and I'll find Bakugo. And Izawa's like, Izuku, that's not logical. Izuku's like, I have new sets of abilities that will be very beneficial if I expand on those abilities. And sorry. And Izawa it feels this immense presence from Izuku, and he just can't deny him. He's like, oh, okay, fine, Izuku. And Izuku goes off running until he actually encounters Shoji, bringing him in, saying, Izuku, be careful. What's his face? He's in whatever. And Izuku's like, oh, is that so? And Izuku walks out with Shoji saying, what are you doing? And he's like, relax. And that's when Dark Shadow comes running towards Izuku, and Izuku just says, go to sleep. And he puts Dark Shadow into a Genjutsu, completely knocking him out. And Shoji's like, what the heck? And Izuku's like, I guess the Genjutsu's the Mangekyo Sharingan is immense. Alright then, let's go. We gotta find Bakugo. Make sure to take Tokiyami with us. So yeah, they go on and they fire Bakugo and Izuku, and they defeat that tooth guy or whatever his quirk was. They find Bakugo, explains the situation. Izuku tells Bakugo to shut the hell up and we need to get this done. And yeah, they all meet up together. They find Uraraka, but then they see that Bakugo is gone, and they all get surprised, and they see it's what's his face, and all that goes the same. Izuku comes with a plan. He catches them. All that goes the same. The only difference now is that once Izuku landed, he actually stopped what's his face to get the marbles. He has both the marbles in his hands, and he was about to break them until Dobby comes, and he hits a fire towards Izuku and hits Izuku. It's like crap, and he drops the marbles, and Dobby picks them up, and he's like, oh kid, sorry about that. Hey, Shigaraki wanted to kill you. I should take you in. And Izuku's like, I will never let that happen. But Izuku actually wanted to use his Sharingan. His eyes completely freaking just break down. He strained his eyes starts to bleed, and he's going a little blind. He's like, ah! He screams with immense pain. And Darby's like, oh, that was easy. And he knocks out Izuku, and he grabs him too, puts him over his shoulder, and walks off. With Uraraka witnessing the whole thing, with Dobby just, doing that bye with the portal closing. So yeah, everyone in the southern camp is completely devastated that they lost 3 students this time. Tokiyami, Bakugo, and Izuku Midoriya. And they want to kill Izuku Midoriya, that's confirmed. So yeah, Uraraka's completely devastated. She's crying and all that stuff. All the girls in the class are crying. All the guys devastated. Kirishima being most pissed off that 2 of his close friends have been taken away, and etc. So yeah, let's just say they were passed out for a few hours, and they all wake up in the League of Villains Lairs with Shigaraki right there, and he has a monologue saying that he can join him and etc. And Izuku just starts laughing, and Izuku's like, why would I join your pathetic bands of and all that stuff. And Baku's like, we'll never join you. And Tokiyama's like, yeah. And all that goes the same. And they're about to fight until they hear a certain voice saying, Izuku Midoriya. And as Izuku hears that, he just feels a shiver down his spine. He's like, I know that voice. And Izuku's getting visibly angry, and Baku's like, what the hell's going on? And Izuku's like, show yourself. And that's when the screen turns on. And he's like, Izuku Midoriya. Long time no see. And Izuku's like, all for one. And he's pissed off. And he turns on his Sharingan. And All For One's like, that's nice. That's very handy. And Izuku's like, how you killed my father. And he does all that monologue. And All For One's just laughing in his face. And Izuku, him pissed off, shoots a fireball jutsu. A fireball. Oh my god. English, please. A fireball at the screen. And that makes the villains go haywire, and they start attacking. And Bakugo defends Izuku from Spinner, who's trying to kick him. And they all start to get fighting positions. And Izuku's like, we're never going to be on your side. And Shigaraki being pissed off, he's like, alright then, fine. Kill them! And Dobby's like, my pleasure. And he does a massive fireball thing. He's like, I don't know, destructive ash. And it's a burst of fire going straight towards them. And all of them are like, it's certain death. And boom, engulfs them, breaking the whole building. Before making a hole in the building, before the heroes could break in and etc. And they're surprised this happened. But as the ash cleared, they just hear a voice. Izuku's like, well, that was new. And Baku's like, what the hell are you, Izuku? And we just see Izuku with, yes, you guys all know it, the Susanoo. Yes, Izuku is engulfed with the Susanoo. And yeah, this is the Susanoo ribs with extended aura to protect Bakugo and Tokiyami. And all of them are like, what the hell is this? And all the heroes also like, what the, just move in. And that's when they all come in, all my bursting through, and Komawi Woods capturing all of them. And All Might gets a glimpse of what Izuku is, and Izuku's like, and All Might's like, what the, until he has a flashback memory with Izuku's father saying, there's something I couldn't fully get. It looked like ribs. And that's when All Might's like, he unlocked the ribs. Is that what Hasashi was talking about? And Izuku, at this point, he's completely done. He's just like, his eyes are blurry, he's close to blind, and he does not pass out. He falls down to his knees. And yeah, and All Might goes to Izuku saying, "Are you okay?" Izuku's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, old man." And as he says that, all the villains disappear, and All Might shouts, "No!" And all the villains and Izuku, Bakugo, Tokiyami all disappear, and All Might shouts, "No!" And he goes to All for One. And yeah, just like in the anime, the UA students all devised a plan, all devised to do the escape plan, etc. Just minus Izuku. Yeah, minus Izuku. And this time, let's say Sue was actually on board because she owes Izuku. Izuku sacrificed, he saved her from Shigaraki, decaying her. So she feels a debt to him. So she actually went instead of opposing this time. So yeah, they all arrived there. Izuku confused what's going on. All of them confused. And so they see all the heroes on the floor and etc. close to dead. And that's when they execute the plan. Similar to the anime. No, they don't execute the plan yet. Alright. All Might actually arrives. Boom! With the freaking punch, and off once like, took you long enough, and they start fighting. And then the ice plan goes into motion, and Bakugo grabs all of them and they shoot away. So since Bakugo has to carry 2 extra people, his explosion wasn't explosive enough. So Izuku was the last person on the chain. So it was Bakugo doing the explosion, then Tokiyami, then Izuku. But Izuku, since he's weak from using the Sharingan, he actually lets go before they actually go. So they leave without Izuku. Izuku's still there at the battlefield. And yeah, Izuku's just completely weak. And Shigaraki wanted to kill Izuku, but All for One forcibly teleported him away before he could do anything. And Izuku's just on the floor, kind of, I don't know, he's just trying to stay awake. And Izuku, trying to stay awake, is actually observing the fight with All Might and All for One. And it gets to the point where All Might's using One for All on one arm, and All for One's at that point, right? So this is where things go differently, you could say. So All Might All Might, yes, gave away One for All to Mira, right? But he still has a majority amount of it, because he had to do less work on the USJ, right? And yeah, he gave the quirk on to Mira a little later than he did with Izuku, because he met Mira at UA. So All Might has a little more One for All inside of him. So his final punch to All for One, it's even more powerful than before. And All for One knows this. If he gets hit by this, it's quite literally certain death. That's when he pulls out his trump card. All for One reveals something. He reveals his real eyes instead of having those, I don't know, non-face. Bro, you can't see his eyes. Let's say it's fake. he pulls off a fake skin patch off his eye, and he reveals the Sharingan, Mangekyo Sharingan to be specific, and is almost like, what the? That's Toshinori's no, that's Hasashi's eyes, and he's more pissed off, and he throws the punch at oh my god, throws the punch at All For One. But to all my surprise, suddenly freaking 5 buildings behind All For One completely get shattered, and All Might's arm is completely through All For One's. At first he thought, did he kill him? But then All For One just starts laughing, and it's like, oh, do you like my new ability? This is what I got. This is the abilities I obtained by taking that Sharingan. And All Might's like, wait, what? And that's when All For One stabs All Might, and All Might's like, and he starts spitting out blood. And Izuku sees this, and he sees that's his father's eyes. He remembers that pattern. He remembers that pattern that treacherous day. And Izuku's furious, and he forces himself up, and he grabs one of the swords that are lying on the ground, and he says, "Fun." And All For One on a monologue saying, going to speech saying he's better and his society is better, and he's about to finish off All Might until suddenly, sling, he gets sliced from the back, and All For One is like, looks behind and sees Izuku, and he's like, All For One's like, I was wide open, kid, and you missed your chance. And Izuku's like, that's what you think. And Izuku uses his Mangekyo ability. He just shouts, disaster! And All For One's small injury turns into a freaking deep organ issue, and All For One suddenly is coughing out blood, and then the small cut turns into a gaping wound, and All For One is on the verge of death. And Izuku's like, screw you! And he actually takes the eyes out of All For One. And All For One screaming for pain. And at this point, Izuku's vision is done. It's done, bro. It's done. It's done. It's like blurry as fudge at this point. Close to blindness. So All For One is screaming from pain from the gaping hole Izuku freaking put in him, and from his eye being freaking torn out, that he teleports himself. No. He doesn't teleport himself. The freaking doctor used the quirk to teleport him away. And Izuku, overusing his quirk than he should have, passes out next to All Might, and All Might puts his hand on Izuku's like, he did, he did well, Izuku. And they both kind of pass out. None of them die, unfortunately. But yeah. So yeah, they all both wake up in the hospital. All Might, one for all out of him, stuck out of him. And Izuku, close to blind. Izuku's told the news that he's close to blindness and etc. And Izuku feels hopeless at this point, until he hears a knock at the door going. And Izuku's like, who the hell is that? And he's like, I'm presuming you're Izuku Midori? And it's like, yes, I'm Izuku Midori, who the hell are you? It's like, I'm Sir Naitai. And he's like, Izuku's like, weren't you All Might's former psychic? He's like, yes. But I came to talk to you on strictly business. And Izuku's like, what do you want? It's like, those eyes of yours, they called the Sharingan. And Izuku's like, how the hell do you know about them? And Night Eye starts to tell him that he knew his father, they were great friends, and etc. And he knew about the Mangekyo Sharingan. And Izuku's like, yes, you're not the only one. You're not the first one to tell me all about this. Alright? And Night Eye's like, that's true. But, pointing up his glasses, like, there's another thing to it. And Izuku's like, what? What the hell are you talking about? Hey, Nada's like, a few days before your father passed, he told me about this ancient Uchiha tablet a few miles out of the city that he found. He told me that he needed to regain his strength to be able to read it, but before he could ever go back, he fortunately passed away. And Izuku puts the dots together and he's like, that means... Night Eye finishes his sentence like, yes. I think what your father, he was gonna have an extreme breakthrough about the Mangekyo Sharingan. But what he meant that he needed his energy to read it is that he needed a Mangekyo Sharingan to read it. And Zuko's like, yes. You think it could possibly lead to a new stage, a new power? And Sir Nara's like, I don't know. But my visions do say that you, Izuku Midoriya, are the most vital part of our hero society. That I do know, and you do not do that without obtaining this new power. And Izuku's like, right. And Izuku gets out his bed and he goes to this ancient tablet. So yeah, and on Night Eye encounters All Might and they have the discussion and they kind of squash the beef, you know, before. They squash the beef. Quite literally, they squash the beef, and then now they're all working with each other. At this point, Izuku is already left, and Uraraka and all these classmates want to visit him, but he's gone. They're all concerned, but All Might put them all at rest, just telling him that Izuku is going out to be better. So Izuku travels quite far, and he finds finally the stone. And Izuku, he's like, what the heck is this? And he's like, it's the tablet. And Izuku uses all the strength he has to lock in, to go into the Mangekyo Sharingan. And as he goes into the Mangekyo Sharingan, the tablet finally reveals itself. It says, the Uchiha clan. Talking about the Sharingan, etc. And the Mangekyo Sharingan saying the true strength does not stop there, but it goes far beyond that. The eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. If you take the eyes of one of your relatives who himself obtained the Mangekyo Sharingan, you will have eternal strength. And Izuku's like, wait, what? And he's like, but I don't. And he's like, wait, I do. And Izuku realizes that if he implants his father's eyes into his eye sockets, he will obtain this eternal Mangekyo Sharingan they're talking about and be so strong. So as Izuku figures this out, he goes back. But at this point, this is where things take things for the worse, right? So since All For One this time was not taken to prison but escaped, but close near to death, Shigaraki's livid, absolutely livid, and All For One himself is livid that such a kid could do such a thing to him. He's not accepting this, and All For One, he's desperate. So what he done is he actually gave majority of his quirks to Shigaraki and told Shigaraki that you're ready. Start chaos. And Shigaraki just smiles And the doctor just smiles too. It's like, are you sure? And all for once, like, start chaos. And yeah, they start chaos. So Shigaraki, before starting anything, he goes meets up with Overall. Overall has a meeting with him, and Shigaraki convinces Overall to actually join his organization, to join the League of Villains for a war. At first, Overall was not interested until Shigaraki said, you can do whatever you want. You can shoot, you can take anyone as an experiment. I don't care. Just as long as you use your forces for chaos, I'm gladly happy with anything. And Overall is actually happy about this, and they smiling too. And the war is about to start. And this time, the heroes are severely underhanded. They are in a bad situation right now. So, they start the war. And Hawks, he just barely figured this out. I'm saying like 3 days figured this out. And everyone's freaking out. So, what the Hero Association does is that they allowed every student in UA that has gotten the license, provisional license, or was close to getting in. I gave them a temporary one to fight this battle, and they trying to get anyone. So they rallied as much as heroes as they could for this war. They were severely underprepared. But because the heroes were also underprepared, the villains were kind of underprepared too. So they do not have as much as they do not have plenty of enhanced no moves as they did before. This time, instead of having, let's say, I don't remember the exact number, I think it was 9 or 6 or something like that. I'm gonna say they have 3 that are ready, but the rest are normal moves that are close to getting enhanced. You know what I mean? They're getting to that point that they got like 2 more quirks that would have been there. So yeah, they rallied up all the heroes they could, and etc. And now it's war, complete war, just absolute war, and it's complete chaos, destruction everywhere, and the streets are being destroyed, heroes being killed, villains being killed. It's bloody chaos. And the most important fight that's going on is Shigaraki, Mirio, Shigaraki versus Mirio. And that fight is completely devastating. Mirio at this point has gone quite handy with One For All. He got up to 50%, but he's using full 100%. He's pushing full 100%. He doesn't break his bones exactly, but he's extremely fatigued. He could use 100%, but he's gonna get extremely bad pains and etc. But Miro's putting everything on the line because this is no joke. So yeah, all that's going on while Izuku's traveling back. He has the answer. And Izuku's traveling back, let's say this war is going on, I don't know, like Miyagi district. Izuku asked for directions back to Miyagi, and they said, no, there's a war going on. Did you not hear, kids? Kid? The villains declared war. It's a complete murder site right there. And Izuku's like, what the? And he rushes back to Miyagi, because he needs to implant his father's eyes inside of him. It's at his house in these containers. So Izuku finally arrives back in Miyagi, and it's a complete destruction. It's firing everywhere. Izuku goes straight to his house, but encounters a few villains, but he uses his fire-breathing quirk to quickly deal with them. He finally arrives at his house, and his house has a few damages, but it's intact, and he's hoping and praying that his mother's okay. But Izuku finally finds his eyes. He sees his father's eyes and he says, Dad, I finally understand why you done this. It's my destiny. I got my revenge on an awful one. But I need to stop this war. So would you please let me use your eyes? And Izuku opens up the containers and he says, crap. The good thing of being Uchiha is that our eyeballs work like light bulbs, and he freaking rips out his eyes, and Izuku's screaming in immense pain, kind of crying, and he puts his eyes into the other thing, and of course it doesn't heal. But Izuku was prepared, and he calls the one person he knows could get this done. It was Recovery Girl, and Izuku shouts, Recovery Girl, I need your help, on the phone. And Recovery Girl's like, Izuku, where have you been? And Izuku's like, there's no time, just where are you? And she's like, I'm at UA. And Izuku's like, I'm on my way. And Izuku out of blind luck arrives at UA, knocking on the door, and everyone in the rescue place is concerned and thinking it's a villain. So they look at the camera and sees Izuku with just bloody eyes, and Izuku in immense pain. And they let Izuku in, and they're like, Izuku, what happened? And Izuku's like, just get Recovery Girl. And Recovery goes rushing out, and Izuku's like, heal me. And Recovery's like, no, your eyes. If I do this, Izuku, you could die. It could. I don't think I do it. Izuku's like, I risked my life a million times before. Just do it. So she kisses him, and Izuku screams in pain because it took a lot of energy out of Izuku, taking vitamins out of him and etc. And Izuku goes close to anorexic. But finally, Izuku, even though he's anorexic at this point, he opens his eyes. He has a new pattern in his eyes. And as Izuku done that, Izuku gains back his muscle mass and etc. And he actually starts levitating, and everyone's like, what the heck's going on? But the reason why Izuku's levitating is because he unlocked his full armor Susanoo, and Izuku just goes up, I don't know, 1,000 meters into the air, and he has this green figure like thing, and everyone in UA is completely just like, what the heck? And Izuku dismisses it and goes down to the floor, and he just asks Recovery Girl, where is Shigaraki? And Izuku immediately goes straight to the place. Izuku arrives at the place and he sees the battlefield erupting, and Izuku closes his eyes and he just goes, disaster. And every single villain that had even the smallest cut around Izuku completely just passed out. Just freaking, the wound gushed out blood, and due to the extreme blood loss, they passed out. It's basically close to Konkozaki. No, not really, but you guys know what I'm saying. And that took out about close to 1,000 villains, and everyone's like, what the hell just happened? And Izuku jumps down and lands on the floor, and everyone's like, who's that? Think it's a villain. And he opens his eyes and he's staring down all the heroes, and all the heroes like, Izuku? And one of the heroes that actually recognized Izuku was Uraraka. She's like, Izuku! And Izuku's like, Uraraka, glad you're okay. Now take me to the fight. So she So Uraka takes Izuku to where they're fighting. The heroes had a plan to separate Shigaraki and Mirio to fight separately, and they've been fighting for hours at this point now. Izuku arrives at the point, and Shigaraki at this point had his quirk unlocked, and his decay is completely outrageous, and Mirio has unlocked almost every quirk in the One for All. Of course, no mastery, but he's just using it like floats and etc. But this battle is just even at this point until Izuku arrives. Izuku arrives in the battle, and Shigaraki's like, Izuku, I will kill you. And Izuku just laughs at Shigaraki and says, you and your master were so desperate. You were so triggered because I put a gaping hole inside of him that you started this stupid war. And because you started this stupid war, I have to end it. I must thank you, Shigaraki. You helped me unlock true strength. And Izuku goes into his full Susanoo, full body mode. And he has this giant blade. And Shigaraki's looking at this in complete fear. And Izuku just says, die. And he slices the blade and cuts a mountain into two. And Shigaraki into two. Killing Shigaraki. Ending the war. Just ending it. Everyone could see this a few meters away. This giant green Susanoo thing with a massive sword just slice up a mountain. This completely discouraged all the villains straight away. And Izuku goes out of this form, and Mirio's just surprised at the amount of strength Izuku just displayed. He was able to he killed Shigaraki in one blow, and Mirio was fighting for hours with no avail. Izuku just kind of stands there in triumph, and he just says, witness the power of Uchiha, with Izuku just smiling. So yeah, that's what I really hope to get. I hope you guys enjoyed. What if Izuku had the Sharingan? Shoot, I kind of liked it. I liked it. I liked it personally. So if you guys liked it too, leave a comment down below and like and subscribe. Journey to finish all the unfinished what ifs. I know I've been gone for like 2 weeks again. Still have summer school, guys. Not because I'm dumb, but I want to get ahead. But anyways, it's been your boy King Donald signing out. It's 2:13 a.m. right now, and peace. And also check out my second channel. Peace.